Welcome back to Deb on the Web. Today we're covering a topic that doesn't get quite as much attention as it should, menopausal anxiety. As we all focus on the physical symptoms of menopause, like hair loss and weight gain and other things like that, I'd like to explore this often hidden side of menopause and have a discussion. Anxiety can often feel like a hidden burden, especially when it sneaks up on you during menopause. For me, it started subtly during perimenopause and then increased slowly, and I wasn't even aware that it was happening. But as I transitioned into full menopause, that's when I really started to see the symptoms. It started out subtly, where I was having difficulty sleeping. Difficulty sleeping translated into having a tough day at work, becoming more irritable, and becoming a little bit more foggy in my thinking. The anxiety spiral in my brain was like a tape that was just running over and over again. Because I wasn't being mindful and due to the lack of sleep, I found myself for the first time, I fell. And I fell hard right outside the Port Authority. An ambulance came, took me to the hospital, bandaged me up. But I just remember in that moment, I just tripped on my own 2 feet. I wasn't even paying attention to where I was going. I was never like this before. What was happening? I brushed that off until 2 weeks later. I fell again outside, just crossing the street, tripping over my own 2 feet, not paying attention to what was going on in my head. I didn't tie it to menopause just yet. That took a long time after. The increased anxiety had an effect on my senses. I noticed that I could smell things that other people couldn't smell. I could hear things that other people couldn't hear. My sensitivities to things were just heightened in ways that I had never really experienced before. I truly thought I was going insane. During the evening when I would try to sleep, I could hear everything in the house. And it just kept me on edge constantly. And at one point, I even heard what sounded like bees in my wall. And I think truly, I had an exterminator come over, and it wasn't bees at all. It was like the sound of electricity like a block away. It was very, very strange. But it added to the oddness. What I learned in hindsight later on, it was just my nervous system being heightened through this anxiety and this repetitive cycle of losing sleep and working really, really hard and not caring for myself and understanding what the changes were, what was going on inside. Irritability increased. Certain emotional meltdowns happened when stress became too much, and I didn't recognize the person I was becoming. And my confidence was being eroded on a daily basis. But I just kept checking off things on my to-do list and getting the job done and balancing things in my life. But one thing happened that no one could foresee, and that was the pandemic. Once the pandemic hit, I began to work from home more often, and that was a blessing for me because I learned actually that something about myself I never knew before is I'm actually an introvert. I never would have described myself that way, but I noticed a sense of relief that washed over me once I could work from home in silence, just dead silence, no music, no nothing. And it helped to regulate my nervous system in ways that my body just needed. Over the course of a few years, I worked from home, and I became very afraid to leave the house. So this definitely spiraled into something that I never would have predicted before. It comes time now to return to the office from a quiet environment and just still not understanding that these are definitely symptoms of perimenopause and menopause that I just did not make the connection. And I did return to the office, and I experienced terrible panic attacks from the slightest sound, the lights in this open office environment, even like the tiniest conversation just triggered me, and I felt really just overwhelmed by the senses of everything. The smells of foods bothered me, just everything. I thought I was going insane. Finally reached out to some therapists, all different types of mental health professionals to, try to understand what was happening to me. Nobody really made the connection that it was menopausal symptoms, and this went on for quite some time. Finally, from understanding what was going on and doing a lot more research, I came to the conclusion that what was best for me at this time of my life was to continue to work from home in an environment where I felt safe, where I could manage all the sensory overload as best as I possibly could to get me through this time, to build up my confidence again. And it was a really scary time, but I'm very grateful to understand finally what was going on for me. And over the course of many months of hard work and therapy and understanding the changes that I needed to make for myself, I was able to pivot, and now I am starting my own business from home. I'm taking much better care of my health. I'm, on a regular seeing my therapist. I am talking to a coach that's helping me with overwhelm and burnout, and all these support systems finally I'm starting to see are paying off in ways where I'm actually thriving now and not just surviving. But looking back on all of this, I wish I had known that this was how menopause was going to manifest itself in my particular case. And I know that for every woman it's different. And when I did do some research on trying to figure out, if other women were feeling this way, there's not a lot of people talking about it. Everyone focuses on the physical aspects of it. And yes, I was going through the hot flashes and the hair loss and the little weight gain and coming to terms with that. But nothing impacted me so greatly as the combination of the anxiety, the overwhelm, the thinking that I was going insane, losing my confidence, and then on top of that, the uncertainty of the pandemic and the fear that came up from that. As a side note now, as I look back, I'm very grateful that I've been able to pivot, and I am feeling so much calmer. If you are experiencing anxiety like this, I implore you to seek out support. You're definitely not alone in this, and I hope you found my situation, my example, as help to you. So, what are some of the things that you can do? And I know that there's a ton of information on the internet on how to manage anxiety, and it sounds all the same, like prioritize sleep and stay off your phone before you go to bed and stay active, mindful eating and all that stuff. Connecting with others, practicing mindfulness and all of that, and seeking professional help. Yes, all those things, and in a combination of whatever could work for you would be helpful. But I implore you to just really listen to yourself and really try to get to the core of what you need, and don't be afraid to ask for what you need, and really make that a priority, because I definitely didn't. I was unaware of what was going on. I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I just kind of blew it off a few times. But when you start to see repeating patterns of falling or, just losing sleep, and then your next day is a mess, irritability, short-temperament, and it's just not who you are as a person. Like, these are signs. These are signs to your body's telling you something. You definitely need something. There are some more other creative ways of helping anxiety. I heard about incorporating creativity into a daily practice of some sort, a form of expression in a way, just like kind of getting it out. Well, I'm not a doctor, and that's not really what this channel's about. It's really just about imploring you to just pay attention. Is my main point. Pay attention, and a sense of community, and reaching out to other women that are experiencing symptoms, community boards, and things of that nature. You will be surprised at how much you learn from what other women are going through. And I would also say that, stay current in information. While there are not a lot of doctors out there that specialize in menopause and women's health, there's definitely more of awareness stemming from that lack of attention on our health care. So that's a good thing that comes from this. And I think channels like this and the opportunity to really talk about these things, putting that out there is important. And it gets the conversation going, and it's women supporting women. So all for that. So that was today's topic. I hope you found it very helpful. I just enjoy, bringing these topics to light. We can deep dive into other things going forward. Looking forward to doing some more videos about midlife and bringing people together and sharing information. So if you found this helpful, I invite you to like and subscribe. Would love to have you here. And I do look forward to seeing you in the next video. So take good care. Bye.